Let's begin with a truth most people avoid saying out loud. A man can be attracted to you. He can text you every day. He can even say the words, I love you. But if he doesn't respect you, none of it lasts because attraction creates excitement. Love creates emotion, but respect creates stability. Without respect, a relationship slowly turns into something else, something exhausting. Arguments feel heavier. Promises start sounding empty. And little by little, you begin to feel like you're fighting for basic treatment you should never have to ask for. So today, we're breaking down 9 things men simply don't do with women they don't respect. And once you see these signs, you won't just hear his words anymore. You'll start seeing the truth in his behavior. Number 9, he doesn't really listen. He just waits for his turn. When a man truly respects you, your voice matters to him. He doesn't just hear the words you say, he actually absorbs them. He remembers small details. You might casually mention that your coworker is stressing you out, and a week later he asks, hey, did things get better with that situation? That's attention. That's presence. But when respect is missing, something different happens. You'll be halfway through telling a story, and suddenly he interrupts with, that reminds me of something that happened to me. Just like that, the spotlight shifts. Your conversation becomes his stage, and sometimes it's even worse. He nods. He says, yeah, at the right moments. But you can tell his mind is somewhere else entirely. Maybe he's scrolling his phone. Maybe he's thinking about what he'll say next. Either way, you can feel it. Because being heard and being valued are closely connected. A man who respects you doesn't treat your words like background noise. He treats them like they matter. Number 8, he avoids real apologies. You know the kind of apology I'm talking about. The kind that sounds like this. I'm sorry you feel that way. That's not an apology. That's a cleverly disguised escape route. When a man respects you, he understands something important. Taking responsibility doesn't make him weak. It makes him trustworthy. So instead of explaining his way out of the situation, he simply says, you're right. I shouldn't have done that. And more importantly, he actually changes the behavior. But a man without respect sees every disagreement like a competition. Instead of fixing the issue, he tries to win the argument. He'll explain, defend, redirect, anything except admitting he caused pain. Because to him, being right matters more than protecting the relationship. But to a respectful man, your feelings matter more than his pride. Number 7, he protects his image, not you. Watch how a man behaves when someone else disrespects you. That moment reveals everything. A man who respects you doesn't stay silent when someone crosses the line. He doesn't laugh it off. He doesn't brush it aside. He steps in, not aggressively, but firmly, because protecting your dignity is part of protecting the relationship. But a man without respect thinks differently. He'll stand up instantly if his reputation is questioned. Yet when it's you, suddenly he becomes passive, quiet, detached. A respectful man stands beside you in public and speaks highly of you in private. If he only protects his ego, then he's protecting the wrong thing. Number 6, your opinions don't influence him. Respect means your perspective carries weight. It doesn't mean you always agree. But it means what you say actually matters. A man who respects you will ask things like, what do you think about this? Because your insight helps shape his decisions. But when respect is missing, your input becomes optional. He decides things alone, plans things alone, sometimes even changes things that affect both of you without even asking. Not because he's confident, but because he doesn't see you as a partner in the decision. Respect turns 2 people into a team. Without it, one person becomes the leader, and the other becomes an accessory. Number 5, his promises slowly disappear. At the beginning, he says all the right things. I'll call you tonight. We'll plan that trip soon. I'll take care of it. But weeks pass, and the promises stay unfinished. Not because life got busy, but because his words were never a priority to keep. A man who respects you treats his word like a commitment. If he says he'll do something, he does it, even when it's inconvenient. But a man without respect develops a pattern. I meant to. I forgot. I've just been busy. And over time, you notice something. He never forgets things that matter to him. Only the things that matter to you. That's not forgetfulness. That's misplaced priorities. Number 4, he pushes your boundaries. Boundaries are simple. They're the lines that define how you want to be treated. A respectful man doesn't challenge those lines. He honors them. If you say something makes you uncomfortable, he adjusts. Not because he's afraid, but because he cares. But a man without respect treats boundaries like obstacles. He negotiates them, pushes them, tests them. You'll hear phrases like, "You're overthinking," "You're being dramatic." But here's the truth. People who respect you don't try to convince you that your boundaries are unreasonable. They simply respect them. Number 3, his behavior is inconsistent. One week he's attentive, calling, texting, planning time together. The next week, silence, distance, excuses. This emotional roller coaster is often mistaken for complexity or mystery, but it's usually something simpler: a lack of respect for your emotional stability. A respectful man understands that consistency builds trust. He doesn't disappear and reappear depending on his mood. He shows up the same way on ordinary days as he does during exciting moments, because reliability is a form of respect, and uncertainty slowly erodes connection. Number 2, he never shows vulnerability. Many people believe vulnerability only comes from love, but often it comes from something deeper: respect. A man opens up emotionally when he feels safe, and when he values the person listening. He shares doubts, fears, moments where he didn't feel strong. But when respect is missing, the mask stays on. Everything becomes surface level: the strong image, the confident persona, the carefully controlled version of himself. Not because he has nothing deeper to share, but because he doesn't trust the connection enough to reveal it. And emotional walls always keep relationships at a distance. Number 1, he never truly includes you in his future. This is the clearest signal of all. Listen carefully to the language he uses when talking about the future. A respectful man naturally includes you in the picture. When we travel someday, when we move, when we build something together, the future feels shared. But when respect isn't there, something subtle happens. The future stays vague. He talks about plans, but they're always "hey sis" plans. You exist in the present, but never in the long-term vision. And that's because respect creates long-term thinking. Without it, the relationship stays temporary, even if it lasts years. And here's the deeper truth most people eventually realize. When respect disappears from a relationship, everything else slowly collapses with it. Communication turns into arguments. Effort turns into frustration. And affection starts feeling like obligation instead of choice. But something powerful happens when you decide to value yourself first. You stop chasing approval. You stop explaining your worth. And suddenly the people who cannot meet your standards begin to remove themselves. That's not loss. That's filtering. Because the right partner doesn't feel threatened by your self-respect. He's drawn to it. He rises to meet it. And when that happens, love becomes calm instead of chaotic, supportive instead of stressful, secure instead of uncertain. And that's the difference between simply being liked and being truly valued. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below which of these signs stood out the most. Because the moment you raise your standards, you stop attracting confusion and start attracting clarity.